corruption. ZANU-PF is further demanding the suspension of MDC councillors who are fingered in the alleged abuse of office and corruption to ensure that sanity returns to the running of Chitungwiza Town Council affairs. More than half the MDC Chitungwiza councillors are involved in these corrupt activities, acting in collusion with some council officials. A lifestyle audit must be undertaken for many of these MDC councillors who, in a very short period of time and without any alternative source of income besides the sitting allowance they receive, have managed to build more than one house in a very short period of time. ZANU-PF is also calling upon the Minister of Local Government and Public Works, Comrade July Moyo, to exercise his powers and to do the following. 1. He must rescind all Chitungwiza Town Council resolutions passed the MDC-led council and intended to embed systemic corruption within council affairs. We also call upon Comrade July Moyo to institute a commission of inquiry whose terms of reference will be to carry out thorough investigation of the many allegations of corruption perpetrated by the Chitungwiza MDC-led council, acting in collusion with council officials they appointed to those positions to facilitate their corrupt activities. Let me just conclude by reading out something on unplanned settlements, mostly in the peri-urban areas of Harare. ZANU-PF wishes to commend government, and in particular the Minister of National Housing, Comrade and Social Amenities, Comrade Garwe, for taking steps to implement the party's manifesto with respect to unplanned settlements in urban and peri-urban areas, with particular reference to Harare. The mushrooming of unplanned housing schemes dotted all over the show in our urban and peri-urban area without the necessary planning, and some on wetlands, and without the necessary infrastructure such as roads, water, electricity, sewerage, or provision of social amenities like schools, clinics, hospitals, business and commercial areas, is a health time bomb waiting to explode. ZANU-PF is therefore pleased that efforts are being made to reorganize, and would urge government to do so along the following lines. 1. Government should take over all land currently in the hands of land barons and pseudo-cooperatives or legitimately registered cooperatives that are non-performing and have demonstrated lack of capacity. And in this respect, ZANU-PF requires that government should act decisively. 2. Government should replan all settlements to make provision for the necessary infrastructure, i.e. roads, water, sewer, electricity, IC infrastructure, and to relocate those to be displaced following the reorganization. 3. Any reorganization of unplanned settlements should entail wide-ranging political consultations with those affected so as to obtain their buy-in and support. 4. The activities of land barons and housing cooperatives, in particular in Caledonia, Harare South, Hartcliffe North in Harare, and Gimboki in Mutari, should be investigated by law enforcement agencies. And where criminal conduct is established, arrest and prosecution should follow to bring such people to book. Investigations should start with all those persons who hide behind the name of the party, ZANU-PF, and are besmirching the good name of the party. Everybody who is in this game, they will say, no, I'm a ZANU-PF supporters. And I'm saying to law enforcement agencies, ignore such statements. And in fact, start your investigations with those who claim to be associated with the party. 5, local authorities are called upon in future to stamp out any unplanned settlements wherever these occur. It is also important that local authorities should monitor the areas under their jurisdiction to ensure that no unplanned settlements take place under their watch. ZANU-PF is therefore urging closer collaboration between the Ministries of National Housing and Social Amenities and local government and public works to ensure that the reorganization of unplanned settlements is done in an orderly and swift manner. To raise the necessary funding for the reorganization, ZANU-PF endorses the proposal by the Ministry of National Housing and Social Amenities to engage the insurance and pension industry, the commercial banking sector, the Infrastructure Bank of Zimbabwe, the National Building Society, the People's Own Savings Bank, CAPS, Bank ABC, and public listed companies in particular, especially those companies who want houses for their employees. They should be quite happy if given affordable rent. They should be quite happy to erect accommodation for their employees. So for the success of this policy on reorganization, government through the Ministry of Local Government and Public Works is being called upon by ZANU-PF to provide affordable land with security of tenure. End of my statement and end of my statements for today.
Thank you very much, Comrade Acting Spokesperson. To my colleagues, as you have seen, we have paid the price for keeping too long with a lot of issues for 2 weeks. So it was a lengthy statement, but one way important to communicate with you because we wanted to clarify issues and also to make our position known. The message has been made very clear. The key message: the party is not involved in any scandals over land, and those doing it are doing that in their individual capacity. And the law enforcement agent has been aided by Comrade Spokesperson to take decisive measures without looking at the political color or complexion of the individuals involved, because the party does not support any form of land baron or baroness. This is a key message that has been made. And the unsanctioned program is coming, like what Comrade Spokesperson has said. Please be involved, be our good partners. We need to communicate a strong message to the world, those who impose the legal sanctions of this country, that we are united as a people who want to see their country leapfrog and catch up with others in terms of development. But sanctions are remaining the biggest elephant in the room, and they must fall. It's time to seek for clarifications and ask questions from the Comrade Spokesperson. I always like this platform, this process here, because it allows those who have burning hearts and chests to empty.
Those are about to publish fake news. This is the opportunity.
Yeah. Any questions? Yes, my sister. Welcome.
My name is Anna Chibam from NewZimbabwe.com.
Speak Anna.
Okay. My name is Anna Chibam from NewZimbabwe.com. I want to ask a question regarding the land balance issue. We understand that many people have lost their hard-earned cash. They built houses in most parts of Harare, but at the end of the day, you see those houses being the illegal houses being demolished. So, as you said, you're going to make sure that the ZANU-PF government is going to look at the issue to make sure that people have got houses built by either banks or whoever. my issue is, are the people who lost their money is going to be compensated somehow, or who is going to pay? Because we see that in courts, most people, the cases just die a natural death, and nobody is responsible to compensate people who lose their money through unscrupulous activities by those people.
Thank you very much. Next person, I'll come to you. Let me start with Costa.
Yeah.
You can proceed.
Just wanted to get a clarification on the anti-sanctions day, on what is exactly going to happen. People expect is there going to be a
So,
march?
can you repeat?
Okay, I was seeking a clarification on the anti-sanctions day, how the program is going to be like. And then secondly, on the issue of the suspension of by-elections, we are seeing that other programs are actually continuing. Is there not a kind of a double standards of some sort? Because you told us that your program is going on like the December conference is proceeding in Bindura, and yet the by-elections are not happening. It is also not prone to expose the public to the COVID-19. Thank you.
Okay. Let me have those two questions attended to first, because
First,
there are now three.
there are now three. The first question to do with unplanned settlements. What we are saying is, you get unplanned settlements. In fact, unplanned settlements, and there are no roads, no water, no electricity, no provision given for social amenities like schools, clinics, commercial sites where you can have your banks, your shops and so forth. Now what we are saying to government is, and there are also those settlements houses built on wetlands. So what we are saying is, government should come in, do a proper planning without regard to where a house is. That is the Department of Physical Planning. They should do what should have been done in the first place. They do their planning, indicate where the road should go. Now, when they now go on the ground to engage the communities, to engage the affected communities, what we are saying is they should engage the communities politically so that they have their buy-in. They will tell the communities that these houses are where the electricity pylons should come. So in respect of those houses, we are saying ourselves to government, those houses will need to be demolished, but those people should be compensated, and the modalities should be worked by government. In other words, they should be relocated and compensated. That is where these have already put up houses. That's what we are saying. We would not want to have a situation where those houses which will fall only on the site where a road is coming to be built, or where servitude is going to be, or where sewer servitude should be thrown out into the streets to their own devices. No, we would not want that. What we are recommending here is that that should be a matter for compensating those who have been affected. But as we compensate those who have been affected, we should go against those who put these structures in the first place without a proper planning. We should go after them, whether criminally or through civil action. We should go after them to recover any compensation that may have been paid to those who have been affected. That I think answered that. The anti-sanctions not yet quite concluded the format that the anti-sanctions day is going to take in terms of how we are going to commemorate this day. We are still at preparatory stages. We will advise you in due course. I hope that by the time of my press brief next week, I should be clear as to how we are going to do it. And we would welcome any suggestions from you in that regard. Tell us how you think we should commemorate the day in a way that the message goes out to every corner of our country, to every corner of the world, that anti-sanctions, that sanctions are illegal and should be removed unconditionally. We should also never forget to send the message that these sanctions were asked for by MDC and their colonial masters. That message should reverberate in the country and also internationally, which is the point I always make. Zimbabwe is a liberated country. It did not come through democracy. There was no vote to say Zimbabwe now wants to become independent. It was fought for. Now, those who opposed its liberation should never dream of ruling this country. Those who opposed the independence of this country, those who opposed the land redistribution program should never dream of ruling this country. They don't deserve it. They and their masters, they don't deserve it. So we need to have those messages loud and clear on this day, and what format we stand guided. But we are already doing our preparations in this regard. The suspension of the by-elections. Firstly, let me say that, to my knowledge, as ZANU-PF, we have already started preparing, doing our primary elections. So the postponement came because of the COVID-19. And so if you're asking about whether it was proper and so forth, put that to government. After all, the regulations are issued by government. I don't see any double standards myself. And when the situation is considered appropriate, I'm sure that the COVID-19 regulations will be relaxed to allow for by-elections to take place. But let me make it very clear, ZANU-PF is ready today for any by-elections. You know, we are ready today, any day. And we will proceed and continue with our primary elections. So that, as you know, during primary elections, there is a lot of rivalry. So we'll give more time for healing between our respective members who have contested during the primary elections. Thank you very much. Any further questions?
Any other questions? Was even, complaining about the postponement of by-elections here. I thought it's something very interesting that we should put across. We don't know who they stand for, and we don't know who they are, and we don't know which political party do they call themselves. Now, the wrangles continue day in, day out. Today you find another group. Tomorrow is another group. Except that however, that our focus is now on ZANU-PF. And what we are doing, we love it because we are the only national political party, the only mass party in the country. So we are happy about that.
Like I said, these are people fighting who gets the larger share from the colonial master, who sits at the table.